we're in the middle of a heat wave, so not getting a lot done. And I've been working a few hours at night, cools off enough. And something that's been really getting me is the gas filler. The hoses are a bit of a problem, but I figured it out. And there's the pipe I welded in here for the filler. So this is half-inch, or I'm sorry, this is quarter-inch wall. It'll be just fine if I hit it or whatever. So I'm not too concerned. But yeah, I had to order new hoses. They go through the frame here and into these. So like always, go order something, wait 5-10 days, I don't know, whatever it is. But I got this in the mail. I got the drive shaft. Hold on a minute. There it is. Now I ordered. Wow, this is sweet, big tubing. So it's my new rear drive shaft. 1310 CV, or somebody calling them double cardigan. Here's the slip yoke. Oh, they got some hardware in there. That's a beaut. I gotta love it. Now, this is my first time I've ever ordered from Adams Drive Shaft. Previously, on all my stuff, I've been ordering from one of their competitors. Been in the business longer than I've been doing this, and they're located in Utah. But their quality on the last one that I got was so bad, I ended up paying double for that drive shaft. And the problem was it just wouldn't balance out right. And you can put a balance on it, but if you balance it, but it's not true, in other words, not straight, as soon as you get up to faster, higher RPMs, which was my cruise RPM on the interstate, you could feel it shaking. And I took it down to Bakersfield, had a shop. They improved it, but no. And then I got another guy out in Utah that helps me with my Tahoe conversion. Talked to him. He goes, "Oh yeah, I know them. I've been in their shop, and they don't have any way to true or make it nice and straight all the way through center line. All their stuff's old, and they never upgraded it. So I shipped it out to him. He took it to his driveline shop, and they nailed it. You know, but they have modern equipment. So now I've seen videos and tours through Adams Drive Shop, and I have to tell you, it's a real modern place. They got all the right stuff. So my hopes are this one, I'm going to put it in. That's it. Done. They also guarantee that it won't break due to torque. And if you smack it, that's one thing, but torque. So I'm kind of happy with that kind of warranty. So let me get that in, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Holy cow, this is it. Cruise fit. Yeah. I think it fits. Shit, get in. I like this drive shaft. Yeah. I'm pretty impressed. Fuel pump. Yeah. External. Frame mounted fuel pump. I have to get up. Okay. It's hard for these creepers to roll around on top of dog toys. She hasn't figured that out yet. All right, well, I got something else in the mail. First set I ordered, I never shipped them. Now, some of you might have said, oh, it's a wheel spacer. Yeah, it does space a wheel 2 inches, but it's actually a wheel adapter. And I didn't know if this adapter was going to fit over this huge hub here. We're just going to do check fit. I gotta stand up, take this off, it's heavy. Yeah. It's on my feet. Oh. Get out of here. Ooh. All right. Drum roll, please. Here we go. Ooh. Now, they don't stick out. Stick out a little. I mean, like a 32nd to a 16th at max. So I just gotta like kiss the end of those with a grinder. All right. I get that piece on. So I got to get these, right? Which I only have one of those. The rest of them are like these things. Okay. Let's just call that on. And then this has a certain pattern to it. Like that. And we have these things. Of course, I didn't bring the Allen. Need the wrench. Okay. Say it's a home run. So, what I have here is the old school 5 on 5.5 bolt pattern. I think they killed that sometime in the 1980s. And then everything went to 5 on 5, 5 on 4, 5 on 4.5. But anyways, what I decided to do is this is a 5 on 5.5, and the adapter goes to 6 on 5.5. And if you ever owned a Chevy, that's a half-ton Chevy bolt pattern. It's on all the Chevys. So you want aftermarket wheels, you're gonna find that. I like Method wheels, bead grips, because I don't want to run a bead lock, because I don't want to have to mount tires. And if I'm out on a road trip, and like I said, I'm going to carry spare, then I just got to get someplace and say, hey, give me a new tire and put it on that wheel, and that tire, company will mount it for you, no questions asked. Otherwise, you got a bead lock, you're on your own. And if you're younger and got more energy than I do, go for it, dude. Go for it, dude. So now that I know that this hub, I measured this at 4 1/4 diameter, which happens to be 108 millimeters, which happened to be what they said this was. And I was on the Method Racing website. Oh, and Method Racing, they don't make a wheel with 5 on 5.5, which is why if I want their wheel, I got to do this. So cool. I can put this tire back on, because now I know what to order. Because I want my new wheels. Here's a little fixture piece I'm working on for a project, and of course I was going to use a thicker plate, but hopefully I got this thing so it'll work. Let's just roll it. Now let it cool off for a second, and then we'll pull it out of there. All right. Let's see. Let's move this thing out of the way. So, what does that look like? Let me fish it out of there, and then I'll go show you what I'm using it for. So here's what this thing's for. Right here, like I said, it's a fixture. So I just made it out of scrap metal. So here it is, and it's got the same bolt pattern as the spare tire, which is a Chevy 5.5, 6 on 5.5, 6 bolt holes, 5.5 diameter. The problem is that this bore here is too small to go over the front hub, so I needed to cut it out, and I thought, well, let's make this template. I can bolt it in, all right, and then I can take my plasma in here and just cut that center bore out, so it'll work. The bore size on my spacers on the wheels, it's a 108 millimeters, which turns out to be 4.25 inch diameter. So I need to find some bolts, fire up my plasma, and then cut that out. Then it'll just work. It won't hurt to tear off. Well, or if it catches on fire, possible. All right, let's get started. Theoretically, I could. See where it's hung up. And I'm not on fire yet. So, just a little massaging with that tool right there. And it'll be good. Excuse the compressor, but there it is. That'll get me home if I get it flat. I mean, it's just a spare that you hope you never have to use, but it'll function. Like it. All right. Probably got to clean up the back too. I think there's little boogers in the back. So here's my wheel adapter. 5 on 5.5 to 6. Yep. That's probably gonna work. So I want to get the wheel adapter on the front here. It's for that hub. I know the wheel adapter goes on because we tested that. Then we'll check fit that tire, but I'm pretty sure it cut it. So I said it was 108 millimeters, and I made that inside circle of this guy. Made it 110 to give me a little more oomph, because there is an offset with the cone on the front of the plasma cutter. I don't know exactly what it is, but I figured that about close. It was close enough. But yeah, it's just a cheap little template. It was made out of some of that diamond plate. And it got her done. It got the job done. You can see, there it is. And that is a feature of the Fusion 360 software that you saw me running. You can put holes on a circle. Circles on a circle. You just tell how many you want and it will distribute them equally. It's pretty cool. All right, well, as you can see, it's dark outside. Really dark. But gotta work at night because of this heat wave. And it's almost 10 o'clock, so I think I'm gonna shut it down and come back tomorrow and see what else I can do. So, see you in a half second. Okay, next thing we're gonna do today, decided not to do any welding. Like I said, we're having a heat wave. It's pretty hot. And so I'm going to do some interior work. Here's what I've been working on. Decided to, it's all butyl rubber. And then it's got this shiny coating on it, which is really good reflective coating for different types of heat and radiation. And this is a big roll like this. It's 9.8 inches wide by 22 feet. And for a Jeep, it does almost all the front part of it. So not much to watch there. I'm just going to sit here and roll this stuff on. There's no magic to it. But just trying to keep you up to date where I'm at and what I'm doing. And I'm going to just try to finish this out, this back wall, and then also going to do the roof. And then I have another item that I'm going to put in here because I can't drive till the interior's done. Yet I could drive it now the way it's at. And it's just really hot. So as soon as this heat wave goes down, I'll start working on that and on the back end and do some weld. I got a lot of finish welding to do. But right today, just no, too hot. So anyways, let me get this done and I'll be right back. All right, well, it's been a few hours and I started putting all this butyl rubber in here. It's for sound, heat, you know. But you know, the best kind of job I like is a job done. Man, this was a lot of work, especially doing it overhead. Your arms can't seem to be long enough. Good stuff. I just chopped it on price and thickness, you know, basically picked it. It doesn't matter who makes it. Butyl rubber is butyl rubber. So then it's just a matter of how good is the glue. And a lot of them, you got to say, is it for a roof? Because you put it on your roof, it gets hot, and then it might let the glue go. This one said roof. Some might just say inside panels, vertical panels, horizontal floor panels, but they don't say roof. Or some of them say they could put it under your hood and take all the heat. But anyways, I got that done. And then this right here, this is like neoprene rubber. It's 3/4 inch thick. I put this back there because my dog's gonna be back there, and also right there, catalytic converter. Man, it gets like hotter than heck. And I had it here, but I'd take it off. And if you're worried about this glue giving up, no. I literally had to tear the rubber off and just peel it down. And then this piece right here, it actually, the butyl rubber came up with it. I mean, and then it's a big gooey mess, so I just put a patch right there. But at any rate, I had to take this off because the seat actually comes across here and it would be rubbing on this. I didn't want that because it's going to be a little higher when I put some carpet on it. So, and the seat only comes back to about right here. So I think we'll be good to that. Also, I put some right here. I know a ton of heat comes up here from just previous experience driving this thing. I mean, I used to have a metal box there, and anything was in the box. If it was subject to melting, it would melt it, destroy it. Couldn't put electronics or anything in there because it would just cook it. So this is going to help with that. Plus, I'm not going to put a console back in here because the dogs are going to come in over the seat, step in here, and then bam, they'll be back here. And this is all going to be, you know, carpeted, everything carpeted. So now hopefully this gives me a little softer, a little more protection. And then I'm also putting on the ceiling, and I'm no longer worried about it coming down. Super lightweight net glue is really good. But I ran out of material for the center here. So I got to order some more. and then that job will be done. And for the ceiling here, I'm also going to do, there'll be a piece of hardboard screwed onto these bars, and then it'll be upholstered at some other time. But right now, that 3/4 inch foam on the roof there, going to be really beneficial when it comes to, because I live in the desert and that sun coming down there, and it's going to be like a microwave oven, especially with just all that metal on the roof now. So that's where I'm at right now, and nice evening. Maybe I can do some welding now, because boy, it was hot all day. Okay, so back at it today. Weather's improved. Still kind of hot, but last night when the sun was going down, it was cooled off. I actually pressure washed the original carpet in here, and it turned out pretty nice. I was happy with it, and I didn't want to have to buy anything, so I got it in here. Came pretty clean. There was a big spot over there on the passenger side. Got that cleaned out, and then I just been cutting up the back piece of this rug, try to get it fit in. And then I said, let me get seatbelts in here. You gotta remember, 1977, they only had lap belts in cars and trucks mostly. Only the expensive cars had over shoulder straps. So these straps in here are stuff that I've had to retrofit into here. Had to make the mount points, the whole thing. So that's all part of these older Jeeps. If you want modern conveniences, well, then you got to do it yourself. See, these are a little sticky. They're a little old. I think I got rubber. Oh, there we go. Now, hey, working. So those went in because I had planned it. I had to put in a bracket back in there, and this spot was like for the factory seatbelt mount. But the problem I'm having is right down in here, and this is the bracket for this piece, where you snap your seatbelt into, and it's just super tight in there. And these are just like generic seatbelt kits that you can get. And the issue I'm having, if you see how tight that is, and then you see how fat that is. Let me show you what's out. So the mount and this, two different widths, and there's just no room in there because it's it's right up against the tub right here. So I've been debating my options. So I got my little sketch pad out, and I'm gonna let you see my bracket process. Here we go. So I sketched. This is the part of the bracket that you just saw bolted in, and I'm not gonna make that part. That was just for fit up. But I'm gonna make this piece here, and this will give me an offset hole from these, and this hole will bolt on to this bracket, and then the seatbelt latch will bolt onto that because I'll have the offset. And I don't think I'll do this point. I'll probably round that off a little more, but let's go back to the house and draw that sucker up and throw it in the plasma. All right, I'm using Fusion 360. We're going to do a part design, create a new one, and then create a sketch. Pick the plane that you want to do the sketch on, which I do it on the top, which gives me Y, X, and Z comes at me or away. And then I gotta figure out how to draw this thing. So we're just gonna do just lines. So it's like dead center, 3.5 at 90 degrees. Create one, 2 1/4, so 2.25, 0 degrees, and do another line. This is that base part at 1.25. There we go. Do another line. 0.5. There we go. And one last line. It's going to go right up to there. So there's a part. Now all I got to do is put some holes in the darn thing. Holes are they're not as easy as you think, unfortunately. I need to know the some centers here. And sometimes it doesn't tell you where the center is, but I'm gonna go over here and get my calculator out. I think it's 685. I do everything decimal. Little calculator here. 5 divided by 8. Yep, 0.625. 0.625. So that's where the center is right now. So we're going to create a circle, center point diameter. Might come maybe right about here. That's a 1/2 inch. Yeah, we're going to do it right where I put it. And let's see, 7 divided by 16.437. So I'm going to do a little bit bigger. Plasma cutter doesn't always nail them. So there's a hole. Then I want another hole. I said it was 1.125. So I'd be right about there. So I'm going to create a circle. It's point, what I said, 6, shoot, 5, there. Oh, I said 0.45. All right. So this line was just for measuring. This line is just for measuring, so we're going to delete those. And there's my nice simple part. Got a lot of little pointies on it. So now I'm going to go over here. And we're going to round them off. I don't know. It's kind of nice, I think. 0.6. It's called a fillet. It looks a little better. I'm going to make it bigger because I really don't need that sticking out like that. Make it 0.6. Oh, that looks smoother. I like that. Oh, I can do it that way. No, I don't want to do it that way. I'm not going to do it there. We're just have it come straight in. But I'll do a fillet on the bottoms. That looks good. Do another one here. Okay. There we go. So we want to cut the sucker out now. So we're going to go solid. We're going to extrude this piece. And we're going to make it out of, I think we're okay with 3/16. What do you think? Because that bracket is 3/16. 0.187, 0.187. 7.5. Boom. So here's your 3D part. Floating in space. Yay. So now we want to manufacture it. So we come up here, we go to manufacturing. Do a setup, a new one. And over here on the right side, all I gotta do here is set the box point. This is where I want to start looking at cutting it. For oriented on the table. Model, stock box, body. Okay, we're good there. And most of the stuff I don't have to change. I put a name, it could be belt bracket. There we go. And that's it right there. I'm going to go cutting. I have to select my tool. It's got a little razor weld, plasma cutter, select. So I'll put that in there. See, it's 3/16, so 40 inches per minute for 1/4 inch. I'm going to go, let's go 50. Let's select. There we go. I need that guy. This for heights, which I don't have height control. I'm going to do some smoothing right there. And hopefully this is all right. And I don't need to, I'm going to let it pick the lead in. And let's see if it does it good. Oh, look at that. So it's going to start here, cut this hole, jump. The yellow means it's not cut, it's moving. And then it's going to start inside that hole, cut it out. Then it's going to jump outside here, and then jump in, cut that part. And if you want to see actions, you just simulate and just say, layer it. Yeah, cut the holes, rip it around there. Woohoo! All right. So at that point, I need to process this, rack it, inches, and I've got everything like preset on this. This is all height control, which I don't have. So we're going to post that. And here it said it was successful. And I need my transportation device. Okay, it's there. You know, I think documents, Fusion 360, NC programs, belt bracket right there. And we're going to drop that onto G codes, which is my thumb drive. And belt bracket. Okay. It is on there. Back to the desktop, release my G codes. So now I can unplug that. So we can go cut it, but let's go. I'm going to go save this. Now, I was having problems with the save because I have a free version. So I export it. See. And yeah. There. So now I've got it saved. Go here, Fusion 360, and there it is, seat bracket, Fusion file. So I can just reload it from there. So all I do now, I've got it all saved. I say don't save. It's a little upset, and I says bye. I did say don't save. Oh, there we go. Little color circle, and we're done. Don't know how well that recorded, but that took 11 minutes. All right, so after the whole, extensive 11 minutes took me to draw the part. It took me 3 minutes to walk over here, fire up my air compressor, turn on the equipment, and then load the program. There it is, and then set up the plasma cutter. That's probably another 10 minutes max, and then we're just gonna see if it works. Oh yeah. Let's stop that. Hold on. There's a reason why that didn't work. See that? I had it in dry run mode, which it doesn't fire off. So let's take that off. Hey, rip now. Hole 1, hole 2. Now setting out the bracket. And it just fell down in the water. So, you get better work quality, quicker, easier. And I saw a very popular YouTuber, does a lot of fabrication up in the Washington State, said that, he feels comfortable that, with the learning curve and everything, that he can make everything better, but quicker and just as fast by hand.
When I was teaching myself metal shaping at like 20-ish, 21 maybe, one of the first things I figured out is that if I tacked pieces together and then I went to shape them, not only would it give me a more uniform, a couple of uniform pieces to where they're like the exact same and it gave a more professional appeal, but it made it way faster to process this stuff. And for that reason, I still don't have a CNC Plasma. One day I'm going to get it, but this is a project that I think is a great example where by the time I draft it and upload, if I do total time of using a CNC Plasma start to finish, I think that I could just cut this and shape this faster because of the techniques that I've learned over the years. But
yes, I'm an old man. I'm his senior. I can learn to do this stuff. The guy's talented. He just doesn't want to put in a little bit of time. But let me tell you, a little bit of time that you put into it, on the back end you save a bunch of time, and well, don't have all that stuff all over you either with cutting and grinding. You can use a drill. All right, let's get this out and see if it even works. All right, here's the part. Get you set. There it is. All in there. And it works the first try. Gosh, look at that. Just bolt it down here, bolt this here, and then I got my seat belt going. So like I do is get my carpet to cooperate. And then, what's this camera doing? It does things. Get the carpet to cooperate, and then I got a bracket. And I need 2. You know what I'm going to do? Just go cut another one. So, anybody that says they can outperform any kind of CNC machine that does the work that they're trying to do, then no. I'm not even in production. This is all just custom stuff, one-offs. I'll make another one of the bracket and then never make one again. So all my G codes for cutting, I'll probably never use them again. I'll just doing a new drawing. You saw 11 minutes. That's like nothing. So anyways, thought I'd show you the process. And there it is. Nice little bracket. Easy peasy. So I'm going to clean it up and try to get the carpet to work with it. Okay, well, getting the interior to a point of I'm tired of doing it. But you can see I got the oh, it's so dark in here. Got shift boots, shifters, all 4 of them in here. Yeah, there's 4. See those bracket extensions? Those worked out beautifully. And then I installed some fender washers and some self-tapping screws here and around. Hold this piece in. And this little exposed spot, all this is going to be under, this is all going to be under a seat. Seat's right here, so seat comes back to about here. So anyways, I think I got the carpeting in. I'm pretty happy with it, considering it had to go custom in the back. And then I have some vinyl that I'm going to cover that with. And I'm going to leave it all lumpy bumpy. I don't really care. I'm just going to use some of that contact cement from 3M. There's 77 and 90. 90 is the better stuff. And you just spray it on both surfaces, and as soon as it contacts, it just sticks. And then that'll have a nice vinyl cover on it. And then the one that's going to be at work could be this roof here. And I have some more foam on ordered because I want that heavy foam up there because that's big heat source coming out of there. So now I have to think of what's the next thing to do. There's so much to do, and I have so many boxes full of stuff. I think what I want to do is mount some tail lights. And I'm going to have to make another bracket. Well, I'll have to make another piece that's going to, basically cover the hole, come in here, and then... Anyways, let me go do some design work, cut out a couple pieces, and then I'll show you what I come up with, and then we can start putting some tail lights on this sucker. All right, so I made some end cap plates for the truck bed. Take a look here. There we go. These just some 3/16 steel, big hole right here in the middle. That's because I'm going to use these tail lights, and these are surface mounts, which is kind of cool. And that hole is so that the wires can go through there, and then that light goes on there like that. I just made it big because why not? And then I got to drill holes through here to get it out the back, and then I'll have to figure out how to route it. But that's what the holes are for. Let's get this. I made one for both sides. Just get them initially packed in, and then you can move on to the next thing that I got to make. And I made these out of 3/16. That way it's going to be nice and heavy duty, so if I actually bonk the back into this, hopefully this will help it from collapsing. But you never know. Now I got these end caps welded on, got the UPS guy out of here. It's time to do a bunch of grinding. Gotta grind. All right, well, all the grinding for these end caps is done. Looking pretty good. There's that one. And then I got this one. Well, I think getting those tail lights set. Things are kind of moving now. So anyways, this video is getting long. We're going to cut it off for today. And sign in next week. We're going to be making a lot of progress as parts, of course, come in. But I really appreciate y'all watching, and please like and subscribe. Helps my channel out, and I really enjoy making these videos for y'all. And continue to make comments. I really appreciate them. So until next week, I'm out of here.